Good afternoon, everyone. Back when I was in 7th grade, I had no idea what I was doing. Like any other average student, I studied, did my homework, got good grades for my parents. And looking back, I was a shy and soft-spoken kid. Being the tiniest in the batch, in which case I still am, I lacked a lot of confidence. But all this changed when I entered high school and expressed an interest for photography and eventually developing an eye for the art. The thing was, I had no idea where to start. So I turned to my iPod Touch, the first gadget I owned that could take photos. And I created an Instagram account called _positivity. With no followers at all, I took the opportunity to upload my photos with no hesitation. I followed a bunch of photographers, and looking at the way they saw the world, I hoped that one day I could be able to do the same. So little by little, my perspective began to change. And true enough, I learned to pay more attention to my surroundings, the colors around me, the quality of light, the time the sun rose and set. And no matter how cheesy it may sound and get, it really changed the way I looked at life, my perspective. With no formal training or whatsoever on photography, I experimented with my dad's camera and forced my little sister to model for me. And as you can see, these photos weren't the best, but just looking at them, remembering the thrill I felt when I was taking these, it made me feel alive. It made me feel happy and accomplished. And here I realized that I'm actually capable of doing something, capturing beauty in the simplest things and being able to share stories through the visual art. And so I continued these spontaneous adventures with my little sister and friends, and I also posted them on my social media on Instagram, where I began to interact with more people and also gain a following. And what I never expected happened. Earning recognition and spreading art through this application, I was able to inspire and connect to hundreds and thousands of people from all around the world. And this is something that continues to shock me up to this day, because who would have thought? And it was at this point when I discovered my passion for photography. It wasn't a defining moment when I first held a camera and light shone upon me. It was more like a series of events and opportunities that predisposed me for my passion for photography, something I knew that I could invest my time and effort to grow as a person and an artist. But the question people always ask me now is, how am I able to pursue this much at my age? And the answer is quite simple. I paid attention to what I was naturally drawn to. I've always had so many ideas and feelings, but I never knew how to put them in the right words. I wasn't a writer, nor a painter, nor an athlete, but I saw the world differently. And I was able to convey this perspective through my photographs. I learned to find beauty in the things and places we get to encounter every day. And so eventually, I realized that the username I chose, which was positivity, it wasn't a mistake or a regret unlike our first email addresses. It actually had a bearing to my craft. And after claiming my dad's camera as my own, I committed to taking better photos every day, deciding to call photography my hobby that turned into my passion. But does it really just stop there? In developing our own talents and skills to pursue our passion just for self-growth, proving that a teenager like me is capable of discovering my passion at a young age? No, it doesn't end there, because this is only the first step of realizing that you have the potential to break boundaries. But what is breaking boundaries in the first place? For me, it is going beyond ourselves by reaching out to others through collaborative efforts. These are what we know more as collabs, or the big X. And it's actually everywhere. We see it in the famous collaborations of singers, fashion labels, or a group of people with a common goal coming together. Examples are H&M and Balmain, Kanye West and Adidas for Yeezy, and of course, TEDxBritishSchoolManila. But applying this in a smaller scope as students, it's not something new to us. It's a strategy we are all taught to apply in a group, which is teamwork. And based on my experience as a budding photographer, breaking boundaries through collaborations can be applied in 3 ways. First is exploring beyond your own perspective. Second is going out of our own comfort zones. And last is exceeding the expectations set for us. So the first one, it involves creating a common vision from each individual, acknowledging that each one in the collaboration has something new and exciting to offer. But this can only be done by speaking up and listening through communication. From an artistic point of view, style is very important. It's something unique to each one of us, and through collaborations, we are able to open up a little bit of ourselves to other possibilities, allowing the exchange of ideas and perspectives. Take this for example. I started out with a vision of a character that symbolized a free-spirited bohemian. And with the ideas with the stylist, the makeup artist, and the whole team, we were able to convey our story by incorporating white lace and tell a story of an anti-bride. Although minimalism isn't my personal style, I was able to explore beyond my perspective what I normally do. And by this, I was able to achieve the common vision that the team had established. Next is now getting out of your comfort zone by building bridges and connections, filling in what others lack. Like I said earlier, everyone has something different and new to offer. But it's not only in the way of exchanging ideas, but also establishing respect and trust. It is inevitable for us to gain new friends along the way and through the process. And looking back to one of my first few collaborations and passion projects, it's true. Up to today, it's pretty amazing that I'm able to connect with more people through the internet. While I was in Europe last summer, I took the advantage to collaborate with models and ballet dancers based in Barcelona, Paris, and Amsterdam. I got in touch with them and made my portrait series entitled Her. Although I was in a foreign land, everything seemed to feel like home when I started shooting. Being able to create art despite the differences and the language barrier. Collaborating for the sole purpose of creating and influencing others. It is definitely the best place for new friendships, as you are able to surround yourself with people as passionate as you are, no matter what their background may be. And last but not the least, it's exceeding the expectations set for us. Being able to find meaning in the whole creative process, the fulfillment and inspiration in sharing the work that you have put together. Being able to appreciate what others do, gaining a broader perspective in life. And let's not underestimate the power of art and its inspiration it can give to people. I'm not only talking about the visual arts, but of course also performing arts, audiovisual. It's not only being able to create for ourselves, but creating art for others to find a common connection and appreciation. This continuously surrounding yourself with people who can uplift you. And that's why having a community is important, may it be an organization or a social media platform. Choosing who you surround yourself with will greatly influence you and how you'll be able to face the challenges ahead. So, breaking boundaries. What should it mean to us students? Of course, collaborating and working together, continuously improving and transforming ourselves to becoming better people. Can I get a show of hands here, those who dread group works? No one? Those who just can't stand freeloaders? I'm sure we can all relate to that. Yup, I felt the same way back in high school, just a few years ago. But we need to put it in a better perspective because we need to remember that if you want to go fast, we go alone. But if you want to go far, we work together. This isn't the most spectacular and stunning idea because it's something we have the chance to work on every day as we go to school and talk to people. But I hope I was able to deliver a reminder to each one of you in this room that you must go beyond yourselves. Because who knows, collaborations just might be the key to your next idea. Imagine what more we can achieve together. There are endless possibilities. Thank you.